Good evening, meteorologist Dean Davis of liveweatherblocks.com. We're going to go over Hurricane Matthew and the effects it'll have on the East Coast over the next few days. Please be aware, Florida looks to be in a you should be having your hurricane kits ready to go. Also, places such as Charleston, South Carolina have started reverse evacuations. Near Charleston, I-26 for one, is going the opposite direction. There is no traffic going towards the shoreline, and there are more evacuations in place. So, sure, you know what you're doing this week if you're living in the Carolinas down through the Florida area. The Florida area looks to be the worst, as we may be approaching, and a Category 3 going to a Category 4 storm, and some models are even now projecting up to near a Cat 5. And we may actually see landfall. Even if we don't see landfall, this storm has a 250-mile radius and will affect you heavily. Port St. Lucie, West Palm Beach, we're saying up to Melbourne, and even up to Jacksonville, then Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, and we're even going to have inland effects due to a front, a high pressure, and the hurricane all mixing together here, even in Roanoke, Virginia, this weekend. So, we'll go over all that. Stand by as we go through that right now. And it's the brand new run of the GFS through the bus, Cat 3 going to a Cat 4. We see the low pressure here out to the west. You have Nicole out to the east. You have the high to that just says clockwise, has a clockwise circulation, and low pressure is up against the mountain as this cold front approaches. So that's why we're in inland areas we could have some issues. As you see on this, 36 hours from now, this is 6Z on Friday, this storm may be making landfall somewhere around Port St. Lucie, down through the Fort Lauderdale area, and putting the coastline. As you see, precipitation now with the front approaching, pressure, the high to the north and the low west, these are precipitation coming off of something Roanoke. As you see here, Jacksonville takes a pretty close to a direct hit. Savannah is not in good shape either. And you see, so bars, that means wind. And that wind will get into the Carolinas. This will be near moves north. We're going to still see the good chance of some wind, probably 15 to 35 miles an hour here in Roanoke, with gusts a little higher. Nicole goes out, but I'm going to show you, we'll back this up into the last stuff. We'll go back to so we can get here what the forecast looks to do. We back to push, so this thing will start going east and then head back into the Bahamas and back towards Florida by Monday. In Florida, making a landfall, coming into the Gulf of Mexico. And what happens if you listen? You may have this thing, and from there, we'll see what happens. This could be stalling. This could be heading south. This could be that's pretty that far out what's going to occur, but it looks like it's back into the area of Florida. Again, half makes landfall within the next 48 to 70 hours. Latest national hurricane projection coming in through the Bahamas, near an area. They actually probably be on the eastern side. Lake Okeechobee, hurricane warning, Port St. Lucie, Cape Canaveral, and then the hurricane watch goes all the way up here into South Carolina. Comes around, makes the northern models, like I said, come back into Florida. So it's a pretty interesting dynamic what's going on. And this is all because of a high to the north, it missing the trough, and that's why the forecast has changed pretty rapidly. We also have tropical on the west coast of Florida at this time. Looking at it, you can see very strong. The eye wall is going through an eye wall replacement right now, which is possibly going to show some rapid intensification now. It's going to inhibit this thing from strengthening again into a very strong Category 3 and Category 4, possibly up to a Cat 5 storm. And we're going to put the forecast keywords. And like I said, Florida is going to be under the gun here next 20 hours. So please heed to this and finish up your plans now and shelter if you make sure inland. Okay, so now I'm taking a look. This is a 4K NAM model of the actual storm coming in. And take a look at how this happened. We start getting the features coming in, then we see pushing actually on the eastern part of this thing here. Vero Beach, Cape Canaveral, St. Lucie, Eye Wall, it's very close in this 4K AM. So So we'll go through it Wednesday. We get some scattered showers, thunderstorms, and some banding. We start getting the effects, especially towards the noontime hour. And the evening time, that's when it deteriorates into Friday and past there. So, pay heed. So real quick, looking at the consensus computer model, pretty much shows this whole loop-de-loop thing happening and coming back towards Florida. So pretty much every model, and they're close to landfall. So, and this is your 18Z models for the tropical models. Here in the Roanoke area, because of the high pressure and low pressure gradient, the Outer Banks will get hit with some wind and rain. So the 8Z is pretty much the same as the 12Z. Two things. To the Euro real fast. I just want to go back to the Euro. Like I said, Euro has the same situation, and it's something I haven't seen in a very long time, to be honest. This whole loop-de-loop. The loop-de-loops happen, but West mainland, not very often. Real quick, I want to show this. Over the next 24 hours or so, we'll have some of the wedge here tomorrow quickly change, and you'll start seeing that banding will come off the ocean. And once that occurs, we get up towards Friday, you can see eastern North Carolina starting to get into heavy rain. It's coming. Towards bumps up against the Blue Ridge mountain chains, which is normal. And there we go, Roanoke. Get some showers, some squally weather, and continues to have it as it gets the effects of the cold front and tropical system. We'll here the tropical will actually be pushing a lot of this inland. So we'll go over that again tonight or in the time frame of noon tomorrow. Locations in a lot of locations occurred. Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Fort Lauderdale, Melbourne, up to Jacksonville, Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina. Are going to likely take a major, and it could be Cat 4. Keep an eye on that. And also, a combination of the high, a front, and could lead to a wet beginning of the weekend here in the Mid-Atlantic. We'll very shortly. I'm Dean Davis and the Weather Pros. Thank you for watching. Come to weatherblogs.com, and if you're a roofer or outside person that's plowing landscape, want our service, go to the try our 10-free trial. Yes, Florida, Georgia, for the landscaping portion, up weather information and critical information. So make sure you go to theweatherpros.com for that, and podcast.com. Meteorologist Dean Davidson. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again later.